to Ask a Pennsylvania Dutchman. My name is Chris LaRose, and this here is Doug Maidenford, our resident Pennsylvania Dutchman. How are you, Doug?
Hey, I'm always good when we're sitting at the table talking to our fans.
Absolutely. Well, Doug, are you ready for our first question?
Yep.
This one comes in from T. Peevey of Versailles, Kentucky, formerly of Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. Transplant.
Transplant.
Yeah.
Well, T. Peevey says, I have a picture of my great-grandpa in a band uniform. When he was still living, he died in 1978, if you asked him what he played, he'd always answer, well, I blew the cymbals in the new Tripoli band. Maybe you can figure out for me how to blow the cymbals.
But, well, you bang them together.
Well, wouldn't that be, you bang the cymbals? Or
Oh, what he said's perfectly fine. I blew the cymbals. It makes sense to me.
What about a banjo?
Why, you can blow the banjo.
What about a mandolin?
Well, you can blow any instrument.
Blow a mean mandolin, right?
Sure.
All right.
Doesn't that make sense to you?
Well, it's just some of the Dutchy phrases that most people tend to not understand. I've got a list of them here.
You mean people that aren't Pennsylvania Dutch?
The English folk.
The English folk.
All right. Well, the first...
Well, you know, I know what you mean now. Some people think that when we talk English, we talk a little funny. We don't, sometimes we say things and they come out backwards. But to us it makes sense because it does. Like blow the cymbals. Well, to me that makes sense. But I guess to somebody that isn't Pennsylvania Dutch, that might sound a little funny.
Maybe it's like he gave the cymbals a really good blow. And
I blew the cymbals. I don't know. It just makes sense to me. But I often get asked about, but why do you say what you say? Why does it come out that way? It's just the way we talk, So, let me guess. You put a list together.
I put a list together
of Pennsylvania Dutch English phrases.
Oh, and is it a doozy?
Oh, I bet it's a doozy. Well, go ahead. Lay it on me.
All right. The first one is make off.
Yeah, I use this all the time. When I first met my wife, she thought I was nuts. So let me use it in context.
All right.
So if it snows, and the snow's gone, and then you're done, and then you gotta go out and shovel off your driveway or shovel off your sidewalk, well, I would say, well, now I gotta go out and make off. That makes sense to me.
Sounds like you're gonna steal something.
Pennsylvania Dutch say, man muss einen Aufmachen. But make off. Direct translation. So make off, yeah. I would say, did you make off yet?
Not yet.
Did you shovel your snow? Okay, what's the next one?
How about making down?
Making dawn. Well, that's another weather phrase that we'd say. If it's really raining, and it's raining hard, in English, cats and dogs and all that stuff. Well, in Dutch, a Dutchman might say, it's really making dawn outside.
Yeah.
It's making dawn something fierce, we'd say.
How about make out the lights?
Well, make out the lights. And again, that comes straight from Pennsylvania Dutch that we just translated right in English. Mach die Licht aus. Make out the lights. That sounds funny to someone that ain't Dutch, but to me it sounds perfectly normal.
Here's a good one.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. Throw Papa down the stairs, his hat.
Yeah, throw Papa down the stairs, his hat, throw the cow over the fence some hay. Again, this is just literal translation from the Dutch into the English. To an Englishman, that sounds a little backwards. Hinosh fetish, as we'd say in Dutch.
It sounds pretty logical to me.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. Throw Papa down the stairs, his hat.
Throw the baby downstairs, a bottle.
Yeah, I don't know why are you throwing a bottle to a baby?
Who knows?
But anyway, that makes sense to us, yeah.
All right, the year is half round again.
Yeah. Did you get that one?
No, heck no.
So if it's July or August and you think to yourself, I don't know better, the year's half round again. Get it? The year is half round again.
Yep.
It never stops.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
The year's half round again.
Well, I thought timelines, you start at one point and you keep going and going and going.
Oh, it's a big circle.
It just keeps this loop.
Yeah.
All right, well, how about the milk is all?
Yeah?
Well, it's all what?
It's all.
What's all of it?
No, it's all.
Like the whole thing? All of, like, the whole cow? Like
No.
cream and milk and all?
No, if you say to me the milk, or if I say to you the milk's all, that means the milk is all. Meaning there is no more.
Wouldn't you want to say, like, the milk is down or
No.
out? Or the
No,
milk is...
the milk's all.
All right.
I could say, hey, go get a bag of chips if we want to eat chips. And if there's no chips in the cabinet, then you could say, well, the chips are all.
So you'd say, go the road down and get some more milk.
Yeah, if the milk's all, then you gotta go the road down and get more milk.
Yeah, but if you drink too much of it, then you're gonna sit broad, right?
Yeah, if someone sits broad, well, sure.
They're pretty.
They sit broad. I mean, they're a little big.
Yeah.
Maybe if there was a lady that sat in front of me in church the other week. She sat pretty broad, if you know what I mean.
All right. How about on the rooch?
Yeah, to go on the rooch. That's just another way of saying someone's going out on the road. Rooch is to slide in Pennsylvania Dutch. So if we say, "Hi, where's your wife? She's never at home," and you'd say, "She's always out on the rooch."
Oh, it sounds scandalous.
No. Well, maybe, I don't know. But on the rooch, she's out on the road.
How about make wet?
Yeah, make wet. Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't
Well,
what does that mean?
Yeah, what do you use in context for make wet?
Well, I don't know how to. Well, I mean, if you're thinking about. Well, I always. If I'm mixing a deck of cards, if I'm shuffling, and then I go to deal them out, and I gotta make my thumb wet. Do something like that. I gotta make it wet.
All right. How do you say that?
Or like if I gotta wipe something off the table, and I say to my wife, "Hey, get me the rag," but you gotta make it wet.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound normal to you?
Now, what would the word order be? Is it make the rag wet or make wet the rag?
Well, you could do either or. I'd probably say make wet the rag.
Ah, okay.
Well, you could say make the rag
well,
wet too.
What would you say in Dutch if you want to say make?
My macht de lumpenas.
Okay, that's easy. How about yeah, well.
Well, that we use that all the time. That's a lot of people use the word like in English. Well, it's like this and like. In Dutch we say ja wel. Dutchman would say ja wel. It's like okay. A lot of English people say okay. Well, we say ja wel. Ja wel, now I go home. Something like that.
Yeah, well, all right. The next one. Once or nah once. This is one of my favorites.
Once we use ONCE. We use this a lot when we're speaking. We'll put it at the end of a sentence, for example. And yeah, it does sound funny to someone that ain't Dutch, but we use it a lot. So where are you going now once? That we say. There's nothing weird about that to us.
If you think about it, you know how the Canadians have the A, the Dutchies, they have the nah once.
Or once, yeah.
Nah, bring the dog in the house nah once.
Bring the dog in now once. Yeah, sure, there's nothing wrong with that. That makes total sense.
You can pretty liberally use that. You put it anywhere you want.
Oh yeah, you could put once and you could put it 4 or 5 times in a sentence.
So try it, Doug. The nah once is all over the place.
Well, nah once. Now listen here, not once. I once went down the road not once, and then we went over there not once, and before I knew it, by not once that we were there where we wanted to go. Not once.
All right, how about eat yourself full?
Yeah, so you have a nice big meal, and Mom sits down, and she says, "Okay, now eat yourselves full." Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You eat yourself full.
So one could say is after you eat yourself full, you got to go make off the driveway.
Maybe.
So you don't sit broad. How about it wonders me? That's a good phrase.
Oh, it wonders me. Yeah, well, it's when you're thinking about something. It really wonders me why the old lady down the road doesn't mow her grass. It wonders me.
Yeah, it does me too.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Hey, I'll tell you what. If you start using these phrases in Pennsylvania Dutchland, man, people will think you are.
That cat's meow.
No, well, that's how we tell people apart. We can tell who the non-Dutchies are from the Dutchies. Not everybody speaks the dialect anymore. But if you have these phrases in your back pocket,
you'll sound #1 Dutch.
You sound #1 Dutch now once, right? The way you need to.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
All right.
Well, so use these phrases. Get out there in the community and go around and just drop them every once in a while.
And film yourselves doing it and send it back
let
to
us know. I'd love to see it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd absolutely love to see other people using the milk is all or go the road down.
Yeah, sure.
And you can send us your videos of your best PA Dutch accent. We'd love to hear those.
Oh, we'd love to see that. We love getting all these questions, but we never know who these people are. We never can put a picture to a face, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we'd love to have it.
Ja, well, thank you once. And,
thank you now once. Max good.
Good.
If you have a question, why you have to email us at busterpa@yahoo.com.